You're welcome back to the main segment of the show. Now, today we are diving into a very timely conversation that affects the very hearts of storytelling right here in Nigeria. As cinema tickets actually prices continue to rise, we've seen more and more filmmakers take a different route, skipping big screens and going straight to YouTube. But is it actually the shift when it comes to creativity, or it's a survival strategy? So we're asking the big question: are filmmakers running to YouTube because cinemas are just too expensive? So it's more or less like cinemas versus YouTube is exactly what we are looking at today. So to help us unpack this, I'm joined by a multi-talented creative powerhouse, a man who wears many hats and wears them very well. I'm talking about Bobby Rak. He's a filmmaker. He's also a director, a cinematographer, and editor. He's proudly from Rivers State, born, bred, and battered in the vibrant city of Port Harcourt, and is currently based right here in Abuja. So Bobby has made a name for himself in the Nigerian evolved film space, known for visual style that is raw, honest, and deeply connected to culture. Aside that, he also has a new project which we would be, should I say, we'll actually get to know about it. How are you doing, Bobby?
I'm fine. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning to you. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Before that, I want to say congratulations to you on your new project. We can't wait to actually see it.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's start with a reality check. How affordable is average Nigerian cinema tickets today? Like, we know from 3,000 to 6,000, or it depends actually on the states right now per ticket. That's like 10 to 20% of the national minimum wage. What is your take on that?
Well, I think it's pretty much hasn't changed. If you check the cost of living now compared to a couple of years ago, the prices, the increase in prices of other commodities, I think the percentage of increase is the same with what's happened with cinema tickets. So I don't think there's much difference.
But to you, why do you? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I feel people say, okay, cinema, we go to cinema to chill. And now the prices are higher, but they don't consider the cost of production, like what it costs to run cinemas. It pretty much affects everybody.
To you, why do you think they are actually more expensive in Nigeria? Would you blame it on inflation? Would you say high operational costs, or something actually deeper than that?
It's the economy. It's the same everywhere. Every aspect, everything in Nigeria now is the same.
Okay, so now let's talk about filmmakers. Would you say they're actually avoiding cinemas not because they don't love the experience, but because their audience simply cannot really afford the show up sometimes?
Okay, first of all, I'd say seeing a movie at the cinemas is not just seeing a movie, it's an experience.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a lot different from sitting in your home to see a movie on the screen or watching it on your phone. Seeing it at the cinema is a different experience altogether. And to me, I think when you see a film at the cinemas, it endears you more to the film, and you tend to remember it more because of the experience. In fact, you tend to love it more.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I think the goal for every filmmaker is to have this film at the cinema.
Okay, so I would like us to actually move to digital shift. Now, let's talk about YouTube. Why are some filmmakers, or like you, I think you basically started from there. You didn't really start from the whole cinema thing. Yeah, exactly. So why are more filmmakers now uploading their film directly online, sometimes even for free? And what's the whole motivation behind it? Would you say YouTube is more like the new oil in the movie industry right now?
Well, first of all, I'd say yes, YouTube is the ish, is the place to be. Okay. But then that's not the only reason why people are shifting to YouTube. First of all, I'd say to an extent, cinema kind of restricts creativity here in Nigeria. Let me talk about Nigeria.
Oh, okay, that's new. Okay.
Yeah. The process your film passes through before it gets to the cinema is pretty rigorous. One of those processes is passing the film through the censor board.
Okay.
At some point, you don't see them almost editing your film. The least you can get is that they rate it. They give it a particular rating, which I think is fair. But then most times, those people at the censor board, they kind of restrict you. They restrict your story, your creativity, and most times they dictate the actors you use. They could make a film, nice story and all, and then the cinemas, they see it and they say, These fees are not known. It's not going to move the market.
Okay.
You get it? Yeah. So when you go to YouTube, you don't have all of that.
Okay.
You can just make your film, make sure it conforms with the YouTube regulations, and you can get anybody to see your film.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot easier.
Okay, but aside that, is there any other reason, or is just the odd? Is just where everybody is really moving right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's less rigorous. You can make your film today and upload it tomorrow, and nobody is saying, hey, you should have used this camera.
And you still make your money.
Yes, and you make your money.
Okay, let's do a case study right here, and I'd love us to use Fukankidele's movie Everybody Loves Jennifer. So now using Everybody Loves Jennifer as a case study, what lesson can we actually learn from this huge cinema success? How it later found life online too at the same time. What do you think? Now, for instance, it actually grows around 1 billion naira in the Nigerian box office, and then it went to find its audience digitally also. So to you, what is your perspective as a filmmaker? Would you treat a film that's already done well in cinemas directly and then also bring it down on YouTube too?
Okay, so what every filmmaker wants when he makes his film is, one, to get the audience to see their film and two, to make money. Yeah. Now, the money-making part. When you make a film, you try as much as possible to put it everywhere where it can fetch you money.
Okay.
Now, the truth is, if you take your film to streaming outlets, what they pay you depends on your bargaining power or how well your film is accepted. So, having your film in theaters, in the cinema, can actually boost the possibility that streaming platforms will accept your film and also increase the amount they will pay you. So, if your film passes through the cinema, when it gets to the streaming platforms, it would most easily be readily accepted and you get more for it. Okay. So those two work hand in hand. So I think that's pretty much what they did. Yeah. Okay. And if you check the digital streaming platforms, there are old movies made decades ago and still coming back to digital platforms. Yeah. Recently I saw one of my favorite movies, Heat, a heist movie featuring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. I think it recently came back to the festivals.
Oh, okay.
You get so no matter how far or how well they did it,
you can still go back in memory to watch everything all over again. Yeah. Let's talk about your current project before we actually move on to the next conversation. First of all, I want to say congratulations again on your movie, Dara. So what really inspired the story and what should audience really expect? Like, let's talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so I was hired to direct the film. In other words, everything concerning the creative aspect of the film was handed to me. But the story was written by Fonishet, who actually doubled as the executive producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course, as the director, when I got to read the script, I had to have conversations with him. And from those conversations, I got to understand that the story came literally from real life experiences. Yes, his own experience. Now, being that the film is set in Port Harcourt City, and I happen to be a Port Harcourt person, I understand Port Harcourt lifestyle. So when I read the story, I could totally relate to everything that was in there. And I think that was one of the reasons why he picked me to direct the film.
Oh, nice.
Besides the fact that we worked together on a couple of
other projects. Yeah,
he picked me because I've been there. And I've had experiences like that before.
So Dara is actually okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what the audience should expect. Dara is a unique film. The story is unique when we talk about cinema experiences. You can hardly find stories like that on the cinemas. And we took our time to make it suitable for the theaters. I was part of the post-production process. In fact, I was actually the editor. I edited the film myself. So we got a very sound engineer to work on this sound design. So it's suitable for cinema. So it's something that It's an emotional story. Let me stop there because I don't talk about
Okay, spoiler alert. Okay, so Dara is actually heading to cinemas right now. So soon, as we all know very well. So how are you approaching the release, especially in a time when many filmmakers are going digital?
um like I said before, the goal is put it everywhere possible so they can make as much money as possible because this is true business. Besides the show, you have to do the business aspect. So the plan is to put it through cinema and then target streaming platforms. I had a couple of challenges getting into cinema, but it scaled through because, of course, the selling point is very strong. Yeah.
Okay.
So the target is to put it through cinema and then to streaming platforms.
Okay. All right, so now I'm really inquisitive on this one. I know a lot of yours, most of your movies have been on YouTube. They've been online, and then the company you're working with, shout outs to Mac Entertainment. They are most of their activities have mostly been on YouTube too. Now, I really want to know what really made you choose the cinema path for Dara, especially for this particular project. Okay, would you say it's the story itself? Would you say it's the skill? Would you say maybe the audience wants more of a reach? What really is your take on that?
Okay, I'd say all of the above because first of all, when you talk about filmmaking is basically motion picture.
Okay.
In other words, when you talk about film, you're talking about what the audience sees, and the dialogue actually helps to interpret what the audience is seeing. However, there are different kinds of films. You have films that are heavy on dialogue, and you have films that are moved by the story. For instance, there are this set of films that are called telenovelas. You see most of them on YouTube where they'll say, okay, there's this rich tycoon and he's looking for a wife, so he pretends like he's a poor person, and then he keep driving the story and they carry you and carry you and carry you. Those are telenovelas. Those are actually story based. Now, the truth is, such films won't give you that experience when you get to the cinemas. In other words, there are films that are made for the theaters and there are films that are made for other platforms. From the quality of production to the story to the emotions portrayed by the story down to the visuals.
Okay.
So previously we worked on TV series, the ones we have on YouTube, TV series.
Yeah.
So those ones won't give you that exceptional cinema experience.
I get it.
But this particular movie was made with the cinemas in mind. In other words, it was created in such a way that it will give people that extra feel when they get to this.
I saw the trailer. And I don't know, but your selection, the actors and the actresses you chose, exceptional. I don't know how intentional you were on that, but you guys really did amazing. We really saw most of the people that are actually on board.
I'm sorry, can you take that again? You were cracking up just now.
Okay, so I was saying that, first of all, I want to say, I love I don't know how intentional you guys were when it came to choosing the right people or the right actors on this project. I saw most of them were like, we've been watching these guys, and for me, I felt like it was a plus. That's a plus, and I'm eager to really see what you have for this. It was giving the whole Potako feeling, the pigeon and everything in it. Yeah.
Actually, that's part of filmmaking for me. Yeah. We had the casting director, so the person reached out to people he felt could play the roles, and then everything still came back to me. So I had conversations with some of them and picked some characters. Yeah. Others were actually handpicked. Like, I looked at the characters and I was like, this person is going to
nice instincts. Nice.
You get. Where I had a tough time picking a character was for our antagonist, the antagonist. Yeah. The person we picked to play the role as Cage, he had never done something like this before.
Oh, okay.
And every other film he'd done, he always played, smooth, calm, lover boy. But this time, for this character, we needed somebody tough, someone very, very rugged. Now, when during casting, when I saw his picture, what I so noticed was just his brows. I was like, this guy with brows. If we get it right, he's going to have a very new. And when I got to speak with him, he had that desire, that hunger to play that role.
Nice.
I was like, okay, I'll go this way. And he didn't disappoint.
Oh, okay. All right, let's take a look at the future of film distribution right now. Do you think the future of Nigerian filmmaking lies more in digital release than cinemas? Should young filmmakers start thinking YouTube first?
Well, I think both run side by side. Let me give you an instance. There was a time when we felt regular photography would phase out. When the era of phone cameras came and everybody had access to phone cameras, and we felt photographers are going to lose their jobs. Normal photos that you snap and put on the walls are going to be useless. But somehow that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
It's like saying there are cars and there are cars. You know, there are vintage cars. So the cinema is what I regard as like the vintage feel. You get. So both platforms, I think, are very important. And like I said previously, some films are built for the theaters, while others are built for other platforms. So I think for young filmmakers, they should understand if they have stories, they should know exactly where it's going from the onset so that they create for those platforms. Even as this film that is going to come out, I still have plans to make productions for YouTube. Okay. For YouTube. And
yeah, I was going to ask a question around that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, making cinema films is not very cheap. It's expensive.
It is.
It's pretty expensive. You want to make a film that would fit all the standards required for cinema theatrically. It's very expensive from the production down to the post-production, especially the post-production. So they should target both. Both would run side by side.
Okay. Well, we can't wait. All right. So before we let you go, if a young filmmaker came to you right now today with a low budget and also, should I say, a strong story, would you recommend a cinema premiere or a YouTube release, and why? That hit you. You were not expecting that.
Low budget, don't even go cinema. However, there are several ways you can put out a film. I did a short film one time. I put it out later on YouTube. But before I put it out on YouTube, I did private screenings. Like I did publicity, then I got access to a small cinema hall. I paid for the hall, paid for the seats, and sold tickets online. And people came, had popcorn and drinks.
Oh,
it was
nice.
a 30-minute long film. It was a short film. And they came and they sat and they watched and they totally enjoyed it. I think I had a couple of sessions. I ran in Abuja, I did Port Harcourt also. And it was pretty successful. So for young filmmakers who don't have the money to go to the theaters, I think they can even do something like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Get family, friends, come support you, see your film. And after that, you can put it anywhere else. You can put it anywhere else. There are 1,001 ways to put out your film.
Okay, so... All right. So before we wrap up, do you have anything to say? Your pattern shot, advice, anything? What do you want to say?
Okay. Like I said, this is show business.
It is.
Both of them run side by side. For me, I'm the show person. Like I have the show. I'm still learning to do the piece. But then filmmaking is teamwork. You can't do everything alone.
No, you can't.
Teamwork. It's a saying I usually give to people when I'm working. I say, as a filmmaker, you are only as good as your worst member. Yeah. When you're talking about pace, you're only as fast as your slowest member. So basically, filmmaking is teamwork. Collaborations are amazing. That's what got me here. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you so much, Bobby Rak. Thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for your honesty and insights today. We really do appreciate. And we can't wait to see Dara, the movie, in all cinemas. And it's always refreshing to hear from someone who is in the trenches, creating us, experimenting and adapting with the time. To our audience, whether you're a filmmaker, a film lover, or just curious about where Nollywood is heading, one thing is clear: the landscape is changing. Cinemas may never disappear entirely, but platforms like YouTube are no longer just a backup plan. They are the main stage for many creatives, especially those who want freedom, access, and visibility. We hope today's discussion has sparked your mind and maybe even lit a little fire in some of you to go out there and create. My name is Nana Abina, and you've been watching Chat Circle. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and keep supporting great storytelling. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely weekend.